Dev Patel's The Personal History of David Copperfield has opened to glowing reviews this week. Not only is it being praised for putting a fresh, fun, and charming twist on a Charles Dickens classic, but it's also getting high marks for its colorblind casting. Jitin caught up with British actress Rosalind Eleazer to talk about representation, working with Dev, and much more.
Oh, a bow? I'm so rarely bowed to.
I hope I've started a new fashion, unless you deem it's inappropriate.
No, not at all, Trotwood. I should demand it at our every meeting from now on.
I want to get started by asking you about the role itself. Are you a fan of Dickens? Did you go into this loving English literature and Dickens particularly?
No, I wouldn't say that I was a huge Dickens fan. You know, I've read some of his books, but no, I wouldn't say, and that's what I think is amazing about the film, that it's accessible. It's a very accessible film, and it's not, you know, a really stuffy period drama, and yet at the same time it does stay true to the literature, and I think that that's the genius of Armando and his adaptation of it.
Hello, I'm Mr. Dick. I'm very partial to gingerbread.
As am I, Mr. Dick. I adore the fiery taste. Delighted to meet you.
Delighted. Thank you. Can you just confirm something? My head.
Yes?
Am I right? My head is connected to my body?
Well, let me have a look. Yes, I can confirm without any doubt that it is.
Take us back to how you got interested in this role, in this character. Were you approached? How did this all go down?
In my own mind, I thought, well, there's no way that they're ever going to give a part like this classic Agnes role to someone that looks like me. But you know what? I've never met the casting director. Let me go and, you know, do a good job. And lo and behold, I got the role. And I was pretty overwhelmed because it's obviously something very new. And I hope that this is paving the way forward for more dramas like this. So I was really excited to be a part of something that is kind of pioneering, and I wish it didn't have to be pioneering. We'd had loads before, but you know, it's a process, and hopefully we'll have many more.
The king's troubles flew from his head to nest in Mr. Dick's own.
Oh, is that why you fly them on your kite, Mr. Dick?
Precisely.
Oh, it's the obvious course of action.
Oh, I like you.
Oh, what a happy coincidence, because I like you too.
You know, given this kind of colorblind casting that you allude to, and seeing so many brown faces, you know, on screen along with white faces as well in this very Dickensian story, do you hope that something like this attracts more people of color, especially to a Dickens retelling?
For sure. I can't see how it wouldn't, because, you know, for the first time we're seeing people that look like us also on the screen, and you know, at the end of the day, we keep on watching. We have such a culture of period dramas. Everyone for some reason loves period dramas, and it's not like we're really learning anything particularly new about that time. It is the reason why we keep telling them is because they are human stories. Every period drama is discussing the human condition, whether that be love, oppression, heartbreak, or what have you. So when we have people that are brown telling those stories, why not? Because it's about the human condition and the human experience, which we've all experienced in some shape or form. So I'm hoping that after people see this film, people go, oh God, I can actually relate to someone that's brown. Because I know me personally, I've spent my whole life watching a lot of Caucasian actors on my screen, and I could relate to them because it's about they're humans, you know. So hopefully, you know, this is opening the door to more like this.
You're going to enjoy Mrs. Strong's establishment. It's not in a perfect condition, but it means well.
You're a little like my father.
Oh.
I want to talk a little bit about the beautiful costumes and just kind of, you know, the sense of Dickensian England, whether it was the countryside or whether it was the city. Talk a little bit about what that experience was like for you as an actor, having to play with such beautiful clothes.
Particularly for the women, we were all in corsets, and we had about 8 layers of underskirt in the height of summer. So every now and again, we'd just get a moment just to fan ourselves and get some air flowing through all our costumes. But what happens is that when you're wearing a corset, you know, you end up walking differently because you're held, you can't slouch. And so you find yourself walking a little bit more elegantly than I normally would. You know, you can't do anything like that. And because the skirts have this swish to them, you also walk, your hips move in a completely different way, and it kind of looks like you're gliding. I wish I could adopt that in my natural walk.
We live just over there. Come and visit.
I will.
I want to talk a little bit about your co-star, who is just kind of making headlines with this film. What was it like working with Dev Patel? Did you know his work before you went into this?
Yes, I was very familiar with his work, and he is simply the sweetest man that has graced this planet. He doesn't take himself seriously. He's goofy, he's silly. And, you know, we got on from the first time we met during rehearsals, which was very convenient because the two characters need to have a rapport very early on. So it was just so easy. It was so easy, and he's a brilliant actor. So I couldn't have hoped for a better actor to work across.
Do you know Papa and I are also moving to London?
Oh, I see.
You'll probably think I'm following you. Help me. I'm being followed by Agnes. She's as persistent as a blue bottle in a sash window.
As, oh, sorry.
What are some of the tidbits you can share about his personality or about his enthusiasm on the set that maybe our fans don't know about? Maybe they think of him a certain way, but you got to see a different side of him on the set.
He kind of just always will make a joke, like right before a take goes, he'll whisper something. I can't even, because we shot this now 2 years ago. But, you know, he's always making you laugh, and he's so humble within his own, you know, work, and he's not shy of asking for help, you know, and he receives so well. But he's just goofy, you know, he wants the whole set to be fun, a fun place for us to all work. And especially if you're the lead actor, it can really set the tone of, you know, and what happens on set. And between everyone, it was pure joy.
They live with us now. We hear their snores like lovelorn toads crawling across a swamp. And how is Dora?
Wonderful. Curly. In fact, I proposed to and intend to marry her in the morning.
Oh, pleasing news.
You know, a modern retelling of Dickens right now, I think, even though it was written so long ago, is so relevant in kind of today's climate, don't you think? I mean, what are some of the themes that you think are so relevant even today?
Well, I mean, the biggest one is, you know, the rich and poor and the gap between them and the oppression that the rich have over the poor. You know, sometimes I'm like, God, this still could be London. You know, this is still London, and also a replica of many other places in the world. And also, you know, the heart of the story is Dev and his character David Copperfield finding his way in the world and trying to find out where his place is and what he wants to, who he wants to be. And he tries on all these different sorts of personas, like we all do when we're growing up. And I think that that's the charm of Dickens, you know. I think that's why we keep on telling those stories, because they're so relatable and still so relevant today. And housing, you know, like there's just so many, and every time I watch it, you kind of notice another thing that I didn't even realize the first time I read the script.
But this narrative is far more than mere fiction. It is, in fact, written memory. And you'll have quite the ride on the way.